that one. Amazing. So, hi everyone. Hope you've all had a really good what are we on? Wednesday. Good start to the week. Thought it'd be really, really good just to kind of go through some wave two ideas and suggestions ahead of the sale for Golden Days. And then Danielle is actually going to touch on something that she mentioned in the group chat about a form of an accountability group, just to kind of help you all set yourself up for the day, making sure that you're doing all the right things. Because I think that one thing with this business that I've learned is that, you can do this the hard way or the easy way. And the easy way is being able to put down your phone, put everything down for the noise, and to just really just focus on doing things to fill your cup. And Liz and me were speaking the other day as well, and it's easy to do these things, but it's also easy not to do them. And when you speak to so many successful people within this business, this is the non-negotiable that they do, which is clearly why they're so successful. So Danielle's going to obviously talk you through the mindset capsule at the end. And obviously, if anybody wants to be a part of that, then it's only going to catapult and obviously help you even maximize more the summer sale. So I just kind of wanted to go through the products and put the prices here for you guys to screenshot them. This is literally all in the back office on Nu Skin, so you can see it. I do have all these images with these backdrops, so again, they are all on there. But if you want to just personally send me a message after and you want me to send these to you, then you can. We aren't going to do a board this time just because that some people have boards, some people don't. But we're still going to utilize the page link that I will send you. So it's essentially like a catalog that your customer can open. So it's got all the products displayed. What we tend to do is just do the product of what it is and then just one before and after photo to keep it really aesthetically clean. There'll be like before, there'll be benefits of the products, and also I tend to do 2 pages, which is the members price, which is what we affiliates buy it for, or anybody that's got their own account that obviously utilizes the ADR, and then a retail, which is obviously every single person that doesn't have an account, but they are still gaining the 20% off. So it's still like a 20% saving, even though they're still retail customers. So obviously, the more you discount, the less profit you make. So just bearing in mind that. So these are all the products. And what I've also wanted to put together is just some sales script examples of things that I would typically say to, like, people that aren't customers yet or something. But it's really kind of I found it really hard to write scripts because I tend to voice note customers. So you will know what's best to say, but this is just to give you a guide if you're kind of like, if your brain's in the freezer and you're thinking you don't know where to start with this. So you could just say something like, "Hey, lovely, I noticed you saw my story. We have a sale starting next week. I didn't know if you've ever been curious with some of the products that I use. I'd love to find out what you're currently using and if you have any skin concerns." So it's kind of like, do you want any info? But also, I'd love to kind of find out what you're using. And then, if they're quite blunt back, then you kind of know where you stand with it. But you want to kind of draw out information from people and get them to talk so so they know that you're not just after it for a sale. You're genuinely interested in what they're using if they have concerns. Another example could be, "Hey, hope you're enjoying the summer holidays. I just wanted to let you know about the tea green that we spoke about. It's actually on sale next week. I didn't know if you'd be interested in this." So typically, if you had somebody that's been on the fence for ages, you're kind of really wanting to shoot this month for Star Affiliate, LOI, brand rep, you could even kind of make the Lumi Spa in a sale and just give 10% discount on it. They don't need to know. So even though you've got this set products for Golden Day sales, still do remember that you have the 25% discount function of, 10 to 25% on products as well. So if you are going through your story viewers or people in your group and you're thinking you spoke to this person loads of times about the Lumi Spa, they don't know that it's not in the sale. But you then also then have that, discount function, which is again why it's so important that we offer things at retail initially, because when we're doing things like this, we then always have a place to go back and kind of offer a discount if needs be. So, go through your list of people. if you last spoke about the toothpaste is on sale. If you last spoke to somebody about the body butter's in sale, and just do a little bit of a discount so that you're not missing out on the sale, even though these select few products are obviously even more of a discount. Um, and something that I would kind of personally message a customer. So, hey, hope you're having a great week. I know when we last spoke, you were loving your Lumi Spa, for example. We have a sale next week, so I wanted to give you a little message to see if you'd be curious at taking a look. There's some products that will complement the Lumi Spa you're using, the eye attachment, the moisture mist, all those types of things. So, make sure that when you're kind of messaging your customers, you're kind of saying there are some products that will complement X or this, because you really kind of want to upsell, and particularly a person that's buying an eye attachment, they need to be buying the moisture mist as well, because all Lumi Spa customers need that product in their hands. Okay, so if anybody is going through customer lists, or you're kind of new and you don't have tons of customers, start with these scripts here, and it's going to feel uncomfortable. But me personally, if I was to receive these messages, they're not icky, they're not spammy. I'm not trying to sell you something. So have that confidence that, we all start from zero customers, and we grow that by sending out messages like this. So, bearing in mind as well that the dependent on how many sales you get depends on how many people you message. If we're using social media, you have got to be committed to have high intention of, this is the amount of messages that I'm going to send because I'm passionate about helping people get skin like me. And then the low attachment, if people ignore me, if people say no, that's okay. You have to remember that, like this, it doesn't say anything about you. They just aren't interested, and that's fine. So, high intention, low attachment, and you have to, marry the process, as we say, and divorce the results. And, if you feel that you send 20 messages and you get, 10 back, no, that's fine. Focus on the 10 of people that are giving you the time to share. Um, One thing I kind of wanted to just quickly do is, I know that Liz had kind of spoken to Ree, and she was happy to come on and just kind of share. But I just want everyone to wish her a massive congratulations for being on the top 10 DCSV highest bonus sellers. This is in Europe, guys. And she was one of the top 10. So I really kind of want us all to just unmute ourselves, say congratulations. And Ree, if you just kind of want to explain if there was a particular message that you were sending to obviously sell the WellSpa. And bearing in mind, ladies, Reed did not have a WellSpa in her hands, and she managed to sell. Well, anyway, unmute yourself. Tell us how many you sold, and if there was any particular script or message or anything that you did to kind of maximize the sale last month.
Hello, thank you. I know I was right shocked when I saw that today. So yeah, I was not doing like any call messages or anything. They were all the messages that I got were people messaging me. So I just had something that I sent across. I sent it Liz earlier. Let me just have a look. So yeah, so it was just like, so people just saying, can I have details on the WellSpot? And I never gave prices straight away. I just sent the information first, and then let them see ask for the price. So I just sent like, hi hon, hope you're okay. So our Body WellSpot IO is Nu Skin's latest innovation and the first ever to combine both beauty and wellness in your results and progress, making the very first of its kind. The device works on a fairly high but pain-free current that adapts to your own body, BMI, skin, fitness, and will adjust and adapt this current where needed to suit you personally. You can use to treat different areas of the body, and it will help with the lymphatic system, muscle aches and pains, sports recovery, as well as being restoring and relaxing massage device that increases endorphins and helping the body and you to feel invigorated after treatment and also relaxed. Can be used pre-workout and post to help muscles. The device can be connected to and personalised to the Vera app for guided treatments and logging your personal progress, whether it's to tighten up those bingo wings or Asian skin on your arms, loose skin on the belly, or firm and turn those legs and reduce cellulite ahead of the summer. The device does it all. It's currently in the summer sale too. Let me know if you have any more questions. So yeah, that was the first message I'd send. And then just if they come back to me, I had any questions or if they just wanted the price, then that's when I'd send the price across.
And how many did you sell?
I sold 13.
That's insane.
It was
Absolutely
just like
fine.
mental as well because I didn't have my own as well, so I've now bought my own. And then Liz has been bugging me saying I need to go on my stories more, like using it, and I've just been like using it on my leg, even though I'm not using it on my legs. I didn't want to show my belly. And then tonight I've just finally like done it on my belly and talking as well. So like, shall I delete it?
That is amazing. And I think, this is just a testament to you that, you took yourself outside the comfort zone last month. So what Liz is encouraging you to do is going to take you even further out of that comfort zone to then bring in even more sales. So, exactly what you've done for, last month, anybody that inquired or anything like that that missed the opportunity, you can still go back and offer them the Well Spa, with a little bit of
Yeah.
discount just to keep that momentum going. So honestly, massive congratulations. What you achieved last month is huge. And to know that you are one of the top 10 out of Europe for selling that last month. So be super proud of yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. So let me get the slides back up. Sorry, hold on. So if anybody has a particular customer and you want help send a script or something, then obviously just reach out and like all of us are here to support you with that. I wanted to show you an example of just reaching out to people that have never even purchased a product. So this is an odd message, but I remember this customer so well because this is exactly the testament of what I've just said to her. So she took part in a Dyson giveaway that I'd done years ago, and she'd never engaged on my stories, had never purchased anything, and I just reached out to say, hope you've had a nice weekend. I wondered if you know anybody that takes the collagen or would be interested in having more information about the benefits. I've been using it and can't believe the difference I've seen. So this could literally be relatable to any of the products that are on sale next week. I have, so she replied and said, can you give me some more information? So practically what Ree just said, I had a script that in the boards that I sent that spoke about collagen, for example. So again, on the page that we're going to create and send to you, you can copy and paste bits out of that and send it to them if you haven't then sent the link. She then kind of said what she was currently using and things like that. And then she said, sign me up for it. And I'm getting married in December. So annoyingly that I didn't actually take a picture above this. So literally just after this message, before I sent her the link for the collagen, I then said, hold on a minute, I want to show you something. I then sent her a picture of a customer who had been using the Lumispa and collagen, and I said that I thought of this because she did it 2 weeks before her big day, and look at the difference. And I sent her a before and after photo. Do you have a Lumispa? The only reason why I ask is that at the time, the Lumispa and the collagen was on an offer. And then she said, I don't own one. How much are they? So then I said about it. And then she then said to me, I'd like to do the three payments, please. So this had literally come from somebody that has never engaged on any of my stories. I personally reached out and said, can I send you some info? Or do you know anybody that would be interested? And she ended up buying the collagen and the Lumispa, and she's still a customer now. So you have to put yourself out there. And if you've got 50 people and they're the same 50 people viewing your stories and liking your posts, they are interested in what you have to offer. So even if they turn around and say no, it's okay, but you've just got to open the door and be bold enough to be able to have that conversation. Um, something to think about when you're posting as well is that you have to be talking about the problem and you are the solution fixer. It is pointless, literally, posting all these static photos saying they're on sale because there is no attachment to it. You have to find people's pain points and you have to look at all these products and think, okay, so which one am I going to focus on? I personally don't think vomiting and sharing all of them will be great on your stories and stuff just because people will lose interest. That's why the catalogue thing that we're going to send you has all of this in it because somebody might ask for tea green and say, oh, do you know what? I want the eyelash and brow serum too. But when you're looking at these products, you have got to think when you're posting about them and you've picked two to three that you're really going to share about, and specifically, hopefully, the ones that you use. But again, reason example, she didn't have a well spa and it didn't stop her from having that as a focus. with the tea green, you need to be thinking and posting about like the problems of people who would benefit taking tea green. So, who on here suffers with bloating? Who would like to improve X, Y, and Z? If you're somebody that struggles with X, you need this. You need hooks. You need to be able to hook the person to say, who has this problem? I have this. Same again with the galvanic gels. This is a Botox alternative. So again, that you could be upselling the galvanic spa with that. If you've got somebody that you know that is a mum that regularly had Botox but now's pregnant and obviously can't have it and stuff like this, all these types of things you need to be thinking about. Every single person that you've ever sold a LumiSpa to, you need to be messaging to say, just to let you know, I use this product. The reason why I recommend this is it's a natural plumping, hydrating spray. It's got natural humectants in it. You will never use water on your face again when you use this. Something like this. And again, you could do the apricot demo. So if you all go onto my Instagram, if you scroll to through the highlights where it says mist, I've actually done a demo where I got two apricots, dried apricots, and I put them in water and a jar of moisture mist. And within 24 hours, the dried apricot had plumped up like apricot because it binds moisture to the skin. So if you want to show people, and this product is literally like £13 in the sale, and it's something that if you've got friends that work in offices and they suffer with aircon and they get dry, itchy eyes, take that. It's a setting spray. It has very similar, better ingredients like the MAC fixing spray. You could use it in your children's hair or your hair for like detangling and stuff. It's a multi-beneficial product and it's the cheapest and it's the best. So again, does your daughter suffer with tangly hair? Use this and you can use it for your skin as well. Obviously, you've then got the brow and lash serum, so you could be reaching out to every single brow and lash person, the people that do your brows. Just wanted to ask if you use anything to condition and nourish the brows and lashes that you personally, treat with, or do you personally use anything? It's I can't remember. It doesn't include prostaglandins or something, which means it's got no oil in it, so it's completely safe to use on lash extensions, which is something most other competitors obviously can't say because they have all these oils and that in them. So again, that you need to be, if you're posting about that, you need to be saying, are you somebody that has lash lift or lash extensions but find they're really dry? You can use this conditioning serum on top. So again, with the eye attachment, every single person that's got a LumiSpa, you want to be going back. And the whole thing with this is, who struggles with dark eyes, tired eyes, all of this. I've got this product that I think would work great for you. And again, somebody that might have the Pillar Glow or the Thirst Fix or a moisturizer, you could say they've got a sister moisturizer on sale. Would they be interested in trialing it? This is personally like the richest Nutricentials moisturizer. So if somebody typically has said to you they suffer with, really dry skin or something like that, that's the product. So really just think that you're not just posting about these to get the sale. You are the solution fixer. Talk about the problems. People will relate to that because they'll be like, yeah, that's me, that's me, that's me. So, with this particularly as well, share the emotion with it, try and share before and after photos with it, and how you can help with this product. I'm over the next night or two going to put together the pages. If anybody has any specific before and after photos of using any of these products, I know like Leslie, Gem, you are really good sellers with the tea green. If you've got any customers that are happy to share the before and after photos and you want it in the pages or something, send me some and I can just make sure it's in there so you can then send it on to people. And all it is literally a link. So when I create it, just go into your phone notes, paste the link in there, and then every single time somebody says they want more info, you literally share them the link. And then, it's super easy, so you don't have to worry about downloading boards. But if you want these individual images and you want more before and after photos, they are all in boards, so you will be able to find them as well, or just message me personally. So that's it. Liz, did you want to say anything before I pass over to Danielle?
Nope, that's fine. Amazing. Thank you.
So, Danielle, take it away.
Much Kelly's. Um, so this is not just my idea, I'm just going to point it out there. It's actually something that me and Liz were talking about, oh God, on and off for a couple of days now. So for anyone that does remember doing this last time, I think it might have been last year that we did this. Trying to rack my brain at the top of my head, but basically we were talking about like mindset and how obviously it's super important, but life just kind of just gets in the way. And I, for one, can totally admit that there's multiple days where I would not do everything. There'll be bits and bobs that I do, and then bits and bobs that I don't. And then sometimes I'm missing it. And I just kind of said to myself, like, I just need to be a bit accountable. I found like the last couple of weeks have just got into a bit of a lull. Still doing bits, but just don't really have much emotion towards it. And I just feel like maybe it will be good for all of us to come together, like we did last time, to do this. So I just wanted to basically start by doing some like non-negotiables, but without it being too much. Because for anyone that did the mindset challenge before, there was quite a lot of like daily tasks that we had to do. So Liz and me kind of basically said that maybe we'll just start with a couple, and then obviously if you guys are doing anything already that you like to do every day, like stick to doing those extra bits. And then what we're going to do is in a month or 6 weeks, we're going to reassess and then add something else in, just so that it's not so much for everyone in the beginning. But pretty much straightforward, just going to go through. Um, Sorry, my cat wants to join the call. Um, just going to go over like the most basic things of what we can do to start with. So the DPS info, for anyone that doesn't know that what this is your definite main purpose statement. And this is basically a statement that you basically write in the present tense and read in the present tense, but obviously you put it for a future date, and you basically talk about your income, your maybe pin title, like what you want your life to look like, um, all of those kind of things. Like if none of you guys, if some of you guys don't have a DPS, speak to your sponsor and the business, and then hopefully we can get together and figure out how to do it. It's quite easy. I find it's actually quite easy to write about my future, but obviously getting the emotion behind it is a little bit different. So I remember I had one before that was quite way and over the top, and I remember I used to read it a lot and it just wouldn't ever basically, I couldn't connect with it. And then I remember going to an event and listening to Louise Spencer, and she said she dropped it. So for me it was like the income goal. So my income goal originally was quite high, and I basically halved it. And I always remember, I can't remember who it was that said, I think it might have been Tori, that mentioned like looking at your best month that you've ever had in the business and then adding a zero on the end. It's just a little bit easier to kind of think that you can actually do that. So you're going to read this every morning and night, and know a couple of the leaders that have recommended to read it in front of the mirror. And as silly as you might think to yourself when you're reading it, like in the beginning you might laugh at yourself in the mirror, but there's a reason why you're doing that, and that's because you're ingraining it into your thoughts, so that eventually you do believe that it's happening, and then obviously it does. Gratitude's quite simple. So obviously with everything that's going on in the world, like there's so many things of the basic things that we can be grateful for that I think we don't really talk about. And something starting your day with gratitude and ending your day with gratitude just puts your day, and then obviously your sleep, and then your how you wake up the next day, into a completely different perspective. And for anyone that's read The Secret, you'll completely understand what I'm talking about when I say that. Like it can just be the most basic things of being able to put off food in the fridge and being able to buy what you want when you go shopping. Like I think we kind of take that for granted, but for some people they don't get to do that at the moment, especially with what's going on in the world. Um, so I think we almost need, it almost makes you check yourself a little bit to kind of be like, these are the things that are actually great in my life that maybe a lot of other people would love to have. And then affirmations. So I didn't think of this one. Liz mentioned it, so I thought I would just share it. But loved what she said about how when you're doing an affirmation, like try not to have loads. So for example, if you can normally have like one or two, and normally when you have your DPS, that's a massive affirmation paragraph anyway. But think about one that you basically is your next goal. So I just used an example of basically something that you can focus on. So even if it's just a stepping stone for you to get to your big goal, just think of that's what you're trying to get to first. So it could be money, it could be pin title, it could be anything, like whatever it is that works for you. That can just be the affirmation that you can focus on. And then obviously Liz mentioned about how we can just constantly repeating that to ourselves in the mirror, and then recording it and listening to it back over and over and over again is helpful as well. And I remember listening to, I can't remember who it was that shared it. I don't know if it's Bob Proctor or something else, but if you write it down, like a full page of it over and over and over again, by the time you get to like the last sentence, like you actually believe it, and it's because you're constantly talking about it and constantly saying it. And writing stuff down can be so um can be really good basically for it to work. And then something that I've just added at the end, which I find really helps, and something that me and Tasman learned when we went to PSI, is journaling at the end of the day. So even if you've had a good day or you've had a bad day, like just writing about it. Like, why did that happen? How did that make you feel? Like, why do you feel like that? Like, because I remember something that we learned where you either put yourself into like victim mode or I can't remember what the other thing was. I think it was like understanding. And there's so many things that we can kind of think is like puts us in the victim mode, is like blame and like anger, I don't know, frustration, shame, like all of those kind of things. When actually when you write about it and realize how it's actually been going on, you actually kind of understand it a bit more. So like for some things that could happen and then you get mad about it or get frustrated about it, by the time you've come to actually realize what's actually happened. It's actually nobody's fault. It's just happened in the process of life. And that was something that I quite liked. So every time a lot of things go on in my life, I tend to journal at the end of the day. And it might be that you only write a page down. It might be that you write and write and write until basically you fall asleep. And this is very, very normal, but it just gets out any emotion that you're having, whether that be happy, sad, or whatever. You can talk about your day, whether you've got done all of the things that you needed to do within your business or you haven't, and then obviously how you can do better the next day. And I find me personally scheduling time to do this in your diary. So of course everybody's diary is going to be different to each other. So I know a lot of you girls are off at the moment with school holidays, like you work full time, like you're just busy doing life basically. Whereas I find personally, if I schedule time for this in my diary, I actually do it. And I remember Susie Morrison saying once, if you are not maybe somebody that has an hour to sit down in the morning to do all of those bits, as long as you do them at some point throughout the day, like that is okay. So if it means that maybe you don't do your affirmations or journaling or gratitudes until later, but at least do your like DPS in the morning because you only need like 3 minutes to do that, then that's still good. Like at least you've done it. So I just wanted to basically share this because it's something that we've been talking about, and I thought the accountability group might be a good idea. I know there's quite a lot of people that have responded that want to do that aren't in the Growth Accelerator chat and probably won't be on this call. So I will create a group chat just because I feel like it'll be good for us to all be in one place. It doesn't have to be something that's going to be super active. There's not going to be anything going on in there, but I just thought maybe it would be good for people to put in their accountability when they've done everything every day. And then obviously if they're listening or reading stuff, maybe that they've quite liked, that could be a place that you can kind of like share it to other people. But yeah, that was pretty much it really. I don't know if there was anything that you wanted to add on, Taz or Liz.
No, that was amazing. And I think it is one of those things
Mm.
where I used to be exactly the same, that every successful person's like first thing in the morning is the best time to do it because that's, naturally like scientific, like how things plug in, they stay in, it's most effective. My girls get up at 5 o'clock. I was trying to do a workout, I was trying to do this, and I became so resentful that I couldn't do this perfect routine. And, I had a life coach at the time, and he was like, as long as you're doing it all day, every day is like enough. So if I physically didn't have the time to sit here and write all my gratitudes and write all my affirmations and stuff, I could do them in the morning. So sometimes if the girls are demanding like, a full course breakfast, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, I'll sit down at the table and I'll say, look, let's do our gratefuls and stuff. So, try not to find an excuse. This is only going to benefit you. And yeah, the less routine and structured you are with this, the more consistent you'll be with it. And I've definitely found that, don't put a pressure on yourself. It doesn't need to be done in a perfect way morning and evening is best because it's the first thing you think about and it's the last thing you think about at night. And really, the most effective time is probably bedtime. So if the morning is Pete Tong, make sure that when you go to bed, you're thinking of all these things Danielle's mentioned, because that's what's then continued. So, Liz, did you just want to close on the last slide before we just wrap up?
Yes, so obviously we have our kickoff event in September, which is creeping up because we are scarily in August, so it's not actually that long away. So just want to say if you don't have your personal ticket, please, please, please purchase it. And I know it's not always easy if you've got children and childcare and being away, it's always a juggle. I am relying on my mum coming back from holiday that day. And someone dropping the kids off for me. I don't know what's going to happen if she doesn't come back, but I will be at that event no matter what because it's a non-negotiable. Like it changed my business. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for going to an event. So please, please have your bum in a seat, but also please bring people with you. So the guest ticket has gone live today. So make sure that if there's people that are either sat on the fence, not don't know whether to join in, and just invite everybody to it. Just literally invite everybody to it. If you spoke to them, if you said yes to the business, have not got to go and get their bum in a seat because that is what's going to open their eyes to this business. And if you are reaching out to people, which you should be doing every day now, this is something to invite people to. It is an amazing event if you've not been to one already. So get your ticket, and then I want everybody to leave this call and write down how many people you would like at that event with you. Text it to your upline so you're holding yourself accountable. Don't get to 3 weeks down the line, it's summer, we all know it's crazy, but oh, I've invited nobody to it and nobody's coming. Write it down, send it to your upline, start thinking about who you want to invite, and work with your upline with inviting if you're not sure how to invite, because it's super, super exciting. But we only have a couple of minutes left. So thank you so much, Danielle and Tasmin. That was an amazing call. And we'll get the mindset stuff set up to keep us all accountable over summer. Anything, Tasmin, you want to end with? I missed?
If you can't be at the event, that doesn't mean you can't invite people. So just make sure, sorry, it's gone really black. So just make sure that, yeah, you could do a story like who do I know that's in London? We are there to link arms with them. So even if you can't go, please don't not invite. The whole point is you leverage from this business to enable us to bring those people in and look after them for the day if you physically can't be there. So yeah, I'll get this recorded. I'll send it in the chat when it's done. And yeah, best of luck everybody for wave 2. And if you have any troubles with your recruiting or anything, then just let us know.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thanks, ladies.